on the earrings she gave me. What Heather at? Thank you for the earrings, Heather. Okay, let's go live. Okay, we are live on YouTube. Y'all be missing the pre-show. We just had a whole conversation about hair. Y'all missed it. Could have got some good product recommendations if you were in studio for the pre-show. But okay, it has connected. The video has connected on my other monitor. Let me grab this link and throw it in our group so that our community can easily and conveniently join us live in the YouTube chat. Okay, that is over there. Cool beans. All right, let me see if I need to go where I can see the chat. Now I can see it. All right, we can get ready now. By the way, if you are a solopreneur or entrepreneur that is struggling to get to your first 6 figures in business, you should be in our group. We have 3 canons or 3 pillars of value. Number 1, we commune. We come together and build community. Number 2, we collaborate. We make each other's businesses better and make money together. And number 3, we have conversations that are transformational for your business growth, which is probably the gap you need to fill to get to your first 6 figures. I'm telling you, this group is like a free mastermind, and you are getting more value than some of these paid groups you are in. And this morning show is just one product of our group. So come join the group, shaycannon.info/group. All right. Cool beans. Over here on the YouTube side, Keith says, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Let's get started. Welcome to Unlock Your First 6 Figures morning show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. Everything we do around here revolves around a blog of value that we then discuss, and then we go around almost like a hot seat. We talk about how we're going to use the information, and we solve any obstacles in the way of our success. All right. So this week's blog is at shaycannon.com/community. Put that everywhere. Boom. Because what we've been talking about this week is creating raving fans to create a community for your small business. And why is community important? Because a lot of you are trying to sell to people who don't know you. Right. And because they don't know you, they don't have a chance to like and trust you. But if you build a community, you're building a group of people that like, know, and trust you. And those will be the people that will buy from you. OK, so building community is important, and having somewhere where they can go to engage with you and each other is even more important. OK, so community is important, no doubt. Now, the hardest thing about community is building it. So how can you? So this week, one thing we talked about on Monday was we looked at the cults. Don't let the Alabama get in the way, CULTS, because one thing a cult is great at community building. Now, they use their power for evil, but you're going to use their strategies for good. And so if you want to know their strategies for excellent community building, go back to Monday's replay. All right. On yesterday, which was part 2, we talked about influencers, online influencers, because we know that they are great at gathering people, right? They are great at having a following, a fellowshipping, if you will, right? So we talked about strategies and how we too can build a community like them. And that was yesterday. So go to yesterday's replay. Today's topic is what one of my business coaches can teach you about community. In fact, the whole title of the blog, that creating raving fans to create a community, that's what he did. Okay, so that's where I got that title from. I'm going to tell you, learning by watching your mentors is a great thing. And then when you pay them to actually talk to them and get the coaching that you need, you recognize and you get affirmation and confirmation if what you thought you saw was what was happening, right? Let me tell you about this man. I've been following him since 2017. Okay. His name is Lamar Tyler. His community is TSP, and that's short for Traffic, Sales, and Profit. Okay. So I've been following him since 2017. Come to find out, he had only had this group public since 2016. So I got in after he was only a year in. Okay. And what I started to realize was that he started with a core group of people that he serviced excellently. Okay. Continue to serve them. But as he grew his group, he is forever still talking about that core group of people. And that core group still shows up for him to this day. Okay, so you'll hear him talk about Roz. You'll hear him talk about Dino, which was, I think that was Curl Kid, was Dino. And you'll hear him talk about what was
Freddie.
dang, yeah, well, Freddie, but that's not who I was thinking about. What's the guy with all the hair? I can't remember his name. Anyway, I know his wife's name is Stephanie. But anyway, he talks about the same ones over and over again. Keon, thank you, LaFera. Keon, exactly. Keon been there since day one, baby. And Roz has been there since day one. So he talks about his day ones, and they are still showing up, and they are the core of the culture that is created, right? And so that's when I realized building, because let me tell you, I've had my group on Facebook. I think we celebrated 8 years just recently of the group, but it's nothing for most of those 8 years. It was nothing like it is now, right? Because I learned from him what I'm supposed to be doing to actually cultivate community, to actually build it, right? To start small and teach those people who start off with you like they are everything, right? So the people that are in studio now, some of these people are my day ones, right? They're my Raving fans. They were there since the beginning and are still here now. And because y'all hear what a relationship that I have with them and they have with me, that automatically fosters community for the new people. If you are new to my community and you come in and you hear us laugh and you hear how we know each other's business and we know each other's. And when I say business, I'm talking about company, not personal business, right? But when you want to be a part of that, right? And that's what I experienced in his community. And that's one of the things that I learned and how I start. But I'm going to give you a more step-by-step. I'm going to give you more information, okay? Because that might not be enough for you. So one of my business coaches is Lamar Tyler. I've invested I have on here 50K, but when I put in all the travel and shit that I used to do coming from Argentina, about 80K, okay? In his programs and his events. But before that, in 2017, I joined his traffic sales and profit community and watched him grow it around me, okay? Lamar Tyler is highly effective at building community because he has cultivated a space that specifically caters to the unique needs of Black entrepreneurs, creating a supportive environment that provides both education and empowerment. By addressing the challenges his audience faces and offering actionable solutions, Lamar has built a community where members feel seen, understood, and equipped to succeed. His leadership combines mentorship, business acumen, and cultural relevance, okay? Which all resonates deeply with his audience and fosters a deep sense of trust and belonging. This TSP community thrives because it not only provides valuable resources, but also offers a space where members can connect with like-minded individuals facing similar journeys, okay? So that's the what of his community. Let's talk about how he uses his community, okay? Lamar uses TSP community to meet broader goals by driving collective success that elevates both individual businesses and the community as a whole. Let's make sure that you understand what I'm saying, okay? He helps everybody that's in his community level up, okay? And because the people in his community have leveled up, they attract leveled up businesses to be a part of the community. So the community just keeps getting better and better, okay? So I hope you caught that. All right. Through shared learning experiences, events is a big one, in-person events and virtual events. He just had a virtual event over the weekend, okay? And success stories. TSP members are inspired to take action and achieve measurable results, okay? The whole culture of his group is to take action. The whole culture of his groups is to have what you're supposed to have as a business, okay? This creates a cycle of success where members achieve and validate the effectiveness of his programs, furthering its reputation and reach, okay? By empowering members to grow their business, Lamar strengthens the community's impact, positioning TSP as a leader in helping Black entrepreneurs, his ideal client, right, to scale and succeed, which in turn fuels more growth for the TSP brand and its mission, all right? All of that is in the blog. I damn near read it word for word, but I felt it in my soul, in my shundo, right? But it was so much packed into all those words, I didn't even really want to change much of it because I need you to understand what he over there doing. All right. Now, let's get into how you can do what he does. Because y'all know I done unpacked it and now I'm about to give you more. You know, on the morning show, you get more. Let me see, how many of these strategies did I pull out? I pulled out 7, okay? So I need you to listen for 2 things. Number 1, what is going to be the one that changes the game for your community building? And number 2, which one do you think you will have problems with so we can solve your problems today if we can? All right. So listen for those 2 things. And we're going to start with Tracy. If Tracy disappears, we'll start with Dr. LaFera. Okay. So go ahead and telling y'all now who we starting with so y'all can quit acting surprised. All right. Number 1. Lamar emphasizes the importance of using data and metrics to track progress, engagement, and growth within his community. Okay. He makes data-driven decisions and he pushes us to make data-driven decisions. So for you, you need to figure out what are going to be your key performance indicators, your KPIs for your community. Let me give you some examples. It could be how much engagement you get. It could be what are the conversion rates for sales that you get. It could be what is the impact of certain campaigns. Let me tell you, that workshop I did on organic marketing had a huge impact. Okay. We still are talking about that workshop. And guess what? We have tonight our business clarity clinic. And even that clinic is an extension of that organic marketing workshop. So it's going to be some things that give more impact than other things. And you can pay attention to that, right? So sharing this data with your community can build credibility and drive accountability. All right. That's one thing we're trying to do in our membership. We're trying to drive accountability. Okay. Number 2, creating a space for minority entrepreneurs is what he did. Okay. He has built a community that specifically supports the unique challenges of Black entrepreneurs, offering a culturally relevant and safe environment for growth. Now, I'm not telling you to create a space for minority entrepreneurs. What I'm going to tell you is you got to niche down, though. And that's even me. What you're going to find after this week is I'm probably going to stop saying entrepreneurs and start saying online service-based solopreneurs. Okay. Or entrepreneurs without a team, which is the definition of a solopreneur, right? Because when you niche down, that's how you can create a safe space. When you got a bunch of people that are differently situated in one place, that's not a safe space for anyone, right? So you have to niche down. You have to, because you cannot create the safe space and you cannot create relevance, okay? And that's what you need for momentum. Because when you're trying to serve all these different people, you got to change for everybody you're trying to serve. So we cannot do that. It's time to niche down. Okay. It's time to niche down. All right. Number 3, community-driven success stories. Okay. TSP highlights success stories from within the community, making these wins highly visible and inspiring to others. These stories become powerful tools for motivating and empowering other members. That's how we know who Roz is. That's how we know who Keon is. That's how we know Dino and all the rest of them, because he calls their names. He talks about the successes. He uses them as examples. I need to do that more. I do it sometimes, but I definitely don't do it enough. And there's way too many geniuses in this room for me not to. So you'll see me starting to do that more. Okay. So you need to regularly share the success stories of your community members. This builds a culture of achievement and shows new members what's possible when they engage with you, your businesses, your resources, and your community. Okay. Now, number 4, education-focused leadership. Now, y'all already know I do that well, right? But Lamar focuses heavily on education, offering workshops, challenges, and online courses that are available and actionable, okay? He leverages webinars, boot camps, and other learning events to provide immense value. Okay, so you can do the same. Build community through education by consistently offering valuable practical training that addresses your audience's biggest pain points. Again, if you don't have one ideal client that you are niche down to, it is very hard, okay, to address their biggest pain points because you're trying to address the pain points of everybody, okay? And you can't do that until you niche down. All right. Number 5, leveraging events for deeper engagement. Lamar's live events, baby, it's nothing like that experience. Do you hear me? It's nothing like it. Nothing. I ain't seen shit like it. Okay. So not only are we in an area that's always a well-to-do area for these big events, but when I tell you he brands everything from the outside to the inside, when you drive up, the columns got Black people on it. The doors and windows got Black people on it. You walk in the door, it's Black people on that door. It opens up, it's Black people all on the little stickers on the floor. It's TSP stuff on the elevators on the floor. It's TSP on the ground of the pool. It's TSP everywhere. Okay. He buy out the whole hotel, but they don't sell all the rooms. So you'll see white people coming in there like, what is these Black people doing? What is this? And you know they know, so they be wanting to ask, hey, what's all this? I see you got the little thing around your neck. What's all this? Right? And we love to say, it's a bunch of Black business millionaires, meeting for our, what I'm saying? We love it. We love it. And we're not, let me tell you how we're not even exaggerating when we say millionaires, okay? Because there are millionaires in the room, okay? We love it. Okay, so like events, live events like the annual TSP Live. He has TSP Live that's in June. He has TSP Game Plan that's in January. And they are key to bringing his community together for deeper networking, learning, and collaboration. As he always says, you need to be in the room, okay? So what can you do? You can host live events in person or virtual to create a deeper engagement with your community. These events allow members to network, build relationships, and feel more connected to the community and you and your brand. Okay. This morning show is a live event. We have a live event Monday through Thursday. Who did I learn that from? Lamar Tyler. He don't even do it this often, but guess what? I am not where he is. Okay. He's got more years in. So I'm building up to where he is. I had my first live event last year. In fact, almost a year it's a year to this month where I had my first retreat. Teray was there, right? Shawana was there. Who else was there? Heather was there. Dania was there, right? And they are still talking about this retreat. I learned how to cultivate an experience from Lamar Tyler. Now, I didn't brand everything. We ain't there, right? So the Mexicans was like, who's all these Black people? We not there yet. But one day we will be. They're going to be like, what is all of me brown sisters? Yes, we here. Okay, but there is a deeper connection. Not only did Teray and Heather and Dania and Shawana have a deeper connection to me, they have a deeper connection with each other. Okay, so live events, deeper connection. All right. The next thing, number 6, facilitating collaboration and networking. Lamar fosters a culture of collaboration where members are encouraged to connect, share resources, and partner on projects to help each other grow. Okay. Let me tell you how I love the sense of collaboration in TSP. I love it. What does he say? Everything you need is in the room. And then he also says your money is in the room. Now, some people don't connect those up to understand that just because what you need is in the room and you're a member of TSP like they are, don't mean you finna get it for free. That's why he said your money in the room. Okay. So just because somebody, and even in this community, right? I am really putting a highlight on collaboration, but let me tell you how some stuff is what people sell and they're not willing to barter for it. So some stuff you're going to have to invest in yourself through that. All right. So understand that just because somebody in the room can do what you need, don't mean it's going to be free. All right. Keep that in mind. But collaboration is one of our key 3 pillars of value in our group. So collaboration is important. Last but not least, number 7. All right. Monetizing with a clear value proposition. Okay. Lamar is known for having a very clear value proposition for joining his group. Okay. Joining his community. He promises to help entrepreneurs grow their traffic, their sales, and their profits. He tell you, this group do 3 things. We do traffic, we do sales, and we do profit. Okay. It's very clear. And the results back up that claim. All right. So for you got to get clear. That's what we're doing tonight. Join us tonight. Okay. Because that's what we're doing. Because what I understand as a chief operating officer is y'all are trying to skip over the foundation of being clear on stuff and jump to these high level strategies. And they might work a little bit, but they don't work consistently. And so for some of y'all, they're not working at all because you don't have a business foundation of clarity. You have to be clear. If you ain't clear, nobody following you is going to be clear. And let me tell you how the people who are clear on what they need aren't going to follow you for long. Okay? So you got to understand that. So to ensure your community has clear value proposition, be explicit about the benefits and outcomes members can expect from participating and being a member of your community. I am very clear that I want to help entrepreneurs make it to their first 6 figures. Now I'm very clear that I want to help specifically solopreneurs make it to their first 6 figures. Because what I found is y'all think that just because you don't have a team, you can't make it to your first 6 figures. And boom, let me knock you on your forehead. That's not true. That's not true. So let me help you. Okay. So that's what we're niching down to. And starting next week, y'all gonna hear a whole bunch of stuff going on that is some clarity. Okay. So for you, you're going to have to get clear because you cannot monetize until you are clear, not monetize consistently in the way that you want to. All right. Let's see. The in studio comments have been on fire. Teresa, ain't no party like a TSP party. Tell me about it. Dr. LaFera says Shay's storytelling is on fire today. Teresa says she ain't lying. Dr. LaFera said not at all. She put me back in the lobby. Teresa said, listen, we're sisters now. 40% of my group is from TSP. Yes. Yes. That's why we be all in other people's group talking about TSP. Okay. We can't help it. That's where some of us met. And we already have a deep rooted connection. And when we see each other, we you know what I'm saying? It's like seeing family, right? So that's just what it is. So let me go back through the list. Let me check on YouTube first. Let me see what y'all doing over here. We got Glow over here. Hello, Glow. Keith said Black excellence. You better say it, Keith. You better say it. All right. So let me go through the 7 without the detail so that y'all can answer the question going on. Shawana says, Shay, we say the same thing about you. Pump, pump. I'm just telling y'all where I got it from, though. You know what I'm saying? So I don't gatekeep. I tell you where I get stuff. I'm not worried about you going over there and not getting what you need from me. First of all, you need what you need from me first before you go over there. Okay? Because if you go over there first, you might be at a disadvantage is what I'll say. But hey, if you want to go over there and pay that $30K I paid without me giving you the clarity you need, go right ahead. That's fine. All right. These 7 strategies from Lamar and TSP. Number 1, data-driven growth. Number 2, creating a safe space for minority entrepreneurs. Number 3, community-driven success stories. Number 4, education-focused leadership. Number 5, leveraging events for, I'm going to say live events, whether in person or virtual, but leveraging live events for deeper connection. Number 6, facilitating collaboration and networking. And last but not least, number 7, monetizing with a clear value proposition. Okay, clear value proposition. All right, Tracy. Come off the mic and tell me which one of these will be game-changing for your community building efforts. And then let us know which one you might have a little trouble with so we can solve that problem for you.
Well, I know game-changing would be the data-driven growth and understanding how I can reach my KPIs and what that looks like. And also live events, public speaking and working with others would definitely be game-changing because I'm actually in that space now. So just getting busy, getting started and actually focusing, understanding with clarity what I'm trying to do, who my community is and how we can make it happen. And so that's where I need to be. That's what I need to grow with. And so you'll see me tonight.
I love it. I love it. Look, Heather over here on Facebook, but she ain't over here in the studio with us. So Heather, if you listening on YouTube, hey, but anyway. All right. So which one do you think you'll have the most trouble with, Tracy? So we'll see you tonight for the Clarity Clinic. But which one, just based out of the 7 that we shared, which one do you feel like you would need the most help with?
I'm going to need the most help with the data-driven growth, understanding how to reach my KPIs and narrowing down to that.
I love it. And it's so funny because there is something that I have realized when I became serious about community building about a year and a half ago, right? It's something that I realized was that the pool of people who like, know, and trust me the most were the people in my group, right? And those were the people that were buying from me. So one of the things I understood was all roads need to lead to my group. So what I will say is one of the biggest KPIs I look at right now, Tracy, is if all roads lead to my group, which of these roads are most successful for filling my group? So that's one of the biggest KPIs I look at, because especially as a solopreneur, what we know is we only have so much time in a day. We can't afford to keep doing all the things. So we got to look at all the things that we're doing and which one is working better. And the ones that are not working that well, we need to find a way to replace them with something else to try that could work better, right? So the one thing I'm going to say is, number one, have more than one way you're filtering people into your group. But number two, all of those ways, you need to be keeping up with which ways that work the best so we can keep those and we can emphasize those and spend more time there and take away the ways that are not working as well. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool beans. And I feel like if you start there, that's a major KPI for you. Cool beans. All right. And see you tonight, Tracy. Dr. LaFera, which of the strategies from Lamar, Tyler, and TSP would be game changing for your community building efforts? Let us know. Because you know firsthand, you're in the TSP community, you done paid that 30K. So which one of the strategies?
Well, for me, it would be the addressing the pain points better, because I have been very hesitant to like call out people with autoimmune disease, because I never wanted to be the face of the autoimmune people. But like, yeah, I was talking to my friend Cheryl, and she's like, "But you don't have to be. You could be the face of the person who overcame all of that." And like, I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. and so that would help me to be more targeted, because not only am I the face of autoimmune disease, but I'm also the face of like, the only person looking like me who's been in these rooms, and that degree of stress leads to health problems that make us statistics. And like, so so calling stuff like that out more often, even though I talk about food and its health benefits, like that's going to get people's attention. So I've started doing more of that, even as I pull out my content for this juicing challenge I have coming up. And then the thing that I'm going to be working on next, and that I probably need more help with, is like the live events, because I actually started this whole thing because I wanted to have retreats. And so like, I'm like, how do I get people to my retreat? Well, you gotta know how to pull them in. So
well, the people that come to your retreats are people from your community. So you got a community build.
Yeah. So I need to start stocking my community with these people, and they're also professional women, because like, they know the value of investing in their health and themselves and all that stuff. And that's who I am too. And so I can really connect with them. So yeah. Yeah.
Dr. LaFera, okay,
Yeah.
so we have acute care. What's the opposite of acute care that's the more serious care?
Just like you mean for like end of life or something? Or like
no. Just if it's not acute, it's what?
Like the emergency care.
Not emergency care.
Not emergency, but like
chronic. Thank you. Chronic. Thank you. Okay, so I think that you should start calling out people with chronic illnesses, and then tell them, even if it's something like you being perimenopausal or having an autoimmune disease. I would say autoimmune last, because it's the worst between that and perimenopausal. So say but I think you should be saying chronic disease or chronic illness. Don't even use the word disease, chronic illness. And that chronic illness needs to be your community.
Yeah.
Women over 40 with chronic illnesses. I think that's going to be the niche for you, so that you can speak to the chronic illness, and then you can go deeper with perimenopausal, menopausal, and autoimmune. I think if you do that, you can easily build a community, and within that community, talk to those people. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
Because I feel like when you try to say perimenopausal and then autoimmune, it feels disjointed and it feels like you're talking to two different people. But if you focus on chronic illness, those are your people. You see what I'm saying? Because it don't matter if it's this and this, it's whatever chronic illness you got.
Well, but the problem with chronic illness, then you got the diabetes people in there and the heart disease people in there and everybody.
But if food is pharmacy, it works for them too. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I can help pretty much everybody.
So it really is to rate anybody with a chronic illness. That's why I had to think about it.
Oh, okay. Is that that's she's okay?
Yeah. So cool beans. Thank you, Dr. LaFera. All right, Dr. Toya. Dr. Tachi ain't. Let me tell y'all need to be in studio. Y'all need to be showing up in this community so that you can come and be in the studio. Because Dr. LaFera said, Dr. Tachi said, Dr. LaFera Con, where you get information on the juicing challenge. Y'all see how they see? Live events bring people together. You think she would say that if she didn't already know Dr. LaFera? Dr. Tachi has been talking to Dr. LaFera over 2 years, you know what I'm saying, in this community on this show. All right. So that was funny. All right, Dr. Toya. Which of the strategies from Lamar Tyler and TSP would be game-changing for your community building efforts?
The live events. I definitely know that people just respond better, right? And the follow through and then to be able to kind of just keep them in the community is important with the live event. So leaning into that more.
Love it. Love it. Now, which one of the strategies do you think you would have the most problem with? Is it still the live events?
No, that one's actually not a problem.
I didn't think so.
I think, so somebody asked me the other day how many people came to my website, and I was like, oh, let me go and see. And then I was like, I don't know. So I realized that I was like, well, I can tell you how many people clicked from this Facebook ad, but I realized that I am not currently doing a really good job with the metrics and the data. I don't know where people coming from, how they get there, unless it, so I think for me, it's not it is a difficulty just because I have to sit down and figure it out. But that part is probably where I need to focus.
Okay, so what I'll say is, because I know, you and Teray are similarly situated in that, and I am too. We don't like our time taken up with stuff. We like our freedom. So what you might do is have an assistant to gather the information and put it on a dashboard or on a report and give it to you ever so often so that you don't have to go hunt for it, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And then decide what decisions you need to make. You're just given the data and then you can just look at it and decide what decisions need to be made. So I think that'll work better for you.
Question though, because you use WordPress. Where is the information? Like, is it there, or do I need to add a plugin, or do I need to put something on there to tell me?
So what I will tell you is there is some baseline information, but I have Monster Insights, and I have connected my Google Analytics to my Monster Insights. So let me show y'all what that looks like. And also, you already signed up for Microsoft Clarity. So, that's giving you a little information, but not a lot. So if I go over, so Monster Insights is right here. And so it's showing me how many sessions, page views, average session duration, total users, bounce rate, new users, and I'm all in the green, right? But what I can do is see the full report. So one of the things I definitely look at, and it's funny because I just looked at it this week, is I am still looking at how many new people versus returning people, because I'm putting this website out in new places, right? So I want to see, is it bringing in new people? It is, right? Then I'm looking at the breakdown of desktop to mobile. I still need to prioritize mobile, because if y'all look at my computer, look at my website from mobile, it ain't all that mobile optimized. You can't see the whole picture, but you can see all the words, that kind of thing. Because I build everything from a desktop point of view. And as you can see, my data is that most people are still on desktop, but I still need to make it cute for y'all mobile people. But I'd be like, whatever. But I need to do better. Okay. So I know my top country of referral, right? And then over here, Facebook is still my top referral of people. But do you see how, since I started working on YouTube in April, how YouTube is right behind Facebook now? right? I did a event last week, right? I think it wasn't this past weekend, it was the weekend before. So the people from that event are coming in so I can see stuff, right? I'm starting to do more on Instagram. It's down here. So I am getting this information and it's letting me know stuff. This is talking about the pages, right? So of course my homepage is first, then after that is the blog page. But after that was last week's blog, right? This was from that event that I did. This was another blog. This was the actual workshop I sold at that event. So that's why it's high, right? And right under that is Clarity Clinic, what we're having tonight. So I can see what my traffic is looking like based on this. But I use Monster Insights, and I think I have Monster Insights Pro, and it is connected with my my Google Analytics. So hopefully that helps.
Yep, going to look for it today. Thank you.
Ooh, beans. No problem. All right, let's go to Miss Debbie. Debbie, which of the strategies from Lamar Tyler and TSP would be game-changing for your community building efforts?
I think building a virtual community. So I'm trying to collect email addresses so that I can have virtual workshops.
Okay, so what I'm going to tell you is that's different, and we talking about that tomorrow, actually, right?
Oh.
So we're talking about your online community where people can gather, right? And not only engage with you, but engage with each other. So you see why email can't be your primary community? Because they can only engage with you if they reply back. They can't engage with each other.
Well, I don't have
that. Okay, so now you need to build one. And which of these strategies that we talked about today do you think will be most game-changing with you building one?
Oh my God. I don't have a community. Not live. I'm stumped. I gotta say.
You stumped?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably because I can't remember all
let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you're stumped because you don't know. Maybe you see all of them as an obstacle. Which one do you see as the biggest obstacle? What do you think your biggest obstacle is to building a community? Now that you understand it's more than just your email list.
Okay, what is my biggest obstacle? Finding the people, prospecting the right people. So I'm starting to do that on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Using their sales navigator. So I'm trying to do that.
Okay. So what I'm going to say is the group part is probably going to be for your secondary avatar, because your institutions and people like that are not going to come into a group.
Okay.
So we're talking about when you want to work with entrepreneurs and do their video production and up level it for them. Those people will get in a group.
So like the East or the Chamber of Commerce people, like those people?
So they're not going to leave their group to join your group. They are already in a group. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So your primary ideal client, putting them in a community is not going to work, because you're going to have to go to their communities, because they're already in communities, whether it be an organization, an institution, a big company, a big corporation, or these other groups. They're already grouped up. So you got to go infiltrate their group for your primary ideal client, right?
That's true.
But you have a secondary ideal client that will definitely tribe up and group and build community with you. And that is the entrepreneurs. We're used to being in groups and in communities for our specific needs, right? So when you think about them, what do you think about, what do you think your obstacle would be?
I'm still stumped. I don't know.
Okay, well, think about it. And you got time to the end to think of a question to ask or an obstacle to present. All right. And with that, we're going to go to Shawana Kennedy Media. Which of the strategies from Lamar Tyler and TSP would be game-changing for your community building efforts?
One of the things that I am definitely trying to do is more of, whether it's online live, but the live where people are actually physically seeing me more. So of course, to be seen, right? Be heard, and to really just do that more, amplify that more, So definitely going into even the first quarter, as I finish up some stuff for the fourth quarter, that is part of the top 3 things that is pushing out into 2025 as I continue to finish out what I've started this year. One of the things that I did want to say, when you mentioned even about the testimonials, that piece is huge. So I do, like you, have to go back to incorporating that, because people need to hear what we have been able to assist them and work with them on to be who they are and represent their business and their brands. So I know that's another way for me to be seen and be heard, is to find a cute way of even amplifying my testimonials. So that's something that's definitely still on my radar.
Love it, love it. So out of the strategies we talked about today from Lamar Tyler and his TSP community, is there anything you feel like you would have an obstacle executing?
Not necessarily an obstacle, but one of the things that, of all the stuff that you said, it is really with me, the whole live piece, not necessarily live, the in-person events, because I know I don't do that a lot.
Yeah.
That in-person stuff, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm online.
But what I'll say is, when we're starting, we need to start small, right? See, I think where a lot of people go wrong is when we use Lamar Tyler and TSP as an example, they think they got to start off with a TSP live or a TSP game plan. No, baby, you might be about to lose some money if you try to start where somebody is that has gone, they're far down the road of building community to have an event that big with thousands of people in the room, right? So sometimes what we do is we start small, right? Like when I did the retreat, I was like, I'm not taking more than 10 people, but then I silently said, I'm not taking more than 5, right? And then I was able to make it a great experience for the 4 that showed up out of the 5, right? So I say start with smaller events. It could even be like a video brunch event, right? Start there where people can meet you someplace and you're not renting out a place. They're just meeting you, and how many people reserve is how many people you reserve a table for, right? So you can start there because you don't have to be big with your events. You just need to start with the events and then tell everybody about the event and have everybody that was there talk about the event. And then more people are going to want to come the more consistently that you have them, and then they will grow. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool beans. All right. Cheryl, let's go to you. If you still awake, we know we be interrupting your sleep sometimes.
Oh, I'm awake. I'm awake.
All right. All right. Which of the strategies from Lamar Tyler and TSP would be game changing for your community building efforts?
Going back to the live events, in person, not virtual. It's interesting that you talk about starting small, because I would give myself 3 weeks to 4 weeks to plan, advertise, execute. I always fill the room. I normally shot for, I would say no more than 50, but I know that usually I get 30. You see what I'm saying? And 20 solid ones, always sold out. Usually paid the hotel before I left from the event, and it worked really well. And of course, people go out and say, we did this, and this, and so then I started having wait lists. If you got in with the 30, the Titanic 30, then that was great. If not, you went on the wait list. When I knew that it was really working, and that was, we had one, and there was a gentleman there, and you kind of know your ideal client, and I was like, why is he here? But he actually was looking for someone to write his life story. Only thing was, we all kind of got excited. Oh yeah, okay, because he was, he had the funds, he had the time, he had the patience. Only thing was, he was a gangster. So we didn't want to bring anything like that to our door. But he had so much fun that he literally paid for lunch for everyone at this new eatery that had opened up. And it was like, we just built an instant community. And, now in dealing with hotels, I want to make sure that they provide, we call it COVID insurance. In other words, if a pandemic, anything happens, we're not going to let them take our money and we can't have the event. You see what I'm saying? And they just don't get the money back. But that also means that, you definitely have to keep these people's money in escrow as well. you know, so that you don't end up with a situation if somebody does try to do that, because, you know, possession is 9/10 of the law, and you're going to have to take other avenues to get it back. I think the key to that is the data-driven decision making and monetizing with a clear value proposition.
Love it.
For the next 8 weeks, I'm choosing one business to focus on because I do many businesses, but you can't do it all at the same time. So anyway, I'm very excited about it.
Feel free to join us tonight for Clarity Clinic, because that's exactly what we're going to teach you.
I got my confirmation.
Cool. See you tonight. All right, let's go to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, what is or which one of the strategies from Lamar Tyler and TSP would be game changing for your community building efforts?
Me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. So the data-driven growth.
Okay. Love it. Love it. So it sounds like what I would tell you guys to do is go to ChatGPT. Tell it where you are with community building. I have no community. I have a few people. This is where we commune. This is my goal for the next 30 days, right? What data should I be looking at to grow my community, and how should I use that data? Ask ChatGPT. Because you're not the only one that has said data. And even though I gave one point of data, which is, you know, where are the people coming from the most? There's more data that's out there. And so I would start with, what does ChatGPT say should be the data I'm looking at for growing my community? Because when you get clear, right, then it's not a data point of who's coming in. You know what I'm saying? Because you're clear in who you're inviting in. So that eliminates a data point that you would need, because you're only inviting that clear niche down ideal client persona. But you might want to know, like, what are the other data points that I should be looking at as I'm growing? I would start with ChatGPT. Cool. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. Kimberly, I think, did you put yours in the chat already, Kimberly? Because if not, you can put yours in the chat. I don't see it. So put yours in the chat, Kimberly, when you get a chance. And with that, we'll go to Teray. Teray, you are in the TSP community. You benefit from it, all the things. Did Kimberly just say something?
Yeah, I can go after Teray. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you go now, because we don't know when you can come off the mic again. See, look at that. She can't come off now. Look what happened.
I'm off. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay, I wanted to come off the mic because number one, I don't know. So number two, after what you said to me yesterday, I'm going to reach out to Shawana so I can get that done. And then I'll reach out to you so that I can get what I need from you as far as the clarity thing. But I know we're doing the clinic. So
but I know the clinic is not like the roadmap, but start with tonight. Start with tonight. Yeah. Okay, so cool. That's fair.
To say that.
That's fair, Kimberly. That's fair. All right. Let's go to Teray. Teray, which of the strategies from our coach, Lamar Tyler and TSP, would be game-changing for your community building efforts?
I'm going to answer that in a second, but can I just say that I think that Kim struggles with education-focused leadership. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Sorry to be in her business. I'm sorry. From our coach, Lamar Tyler, for me, what would be game-changing for me would be monetizing with a clear value proposition. Because I've been touching on that over and over again, talking about I need to touch on those pain points. I need to be able to explain the benefits, how it solves problems, and why I'm different from the rest. I need to touch on that every time. Lamar does an excellent job with doing that.
Yes.
The digital space, the virtual space is saturated with these so-called, business experts. But Lamar does an excellent job with being clear with his value proposition and making it clear that what he did, there's something about this guy. Like, I want to listen to him, and I need to be able to create that same thing, because the space that I'm in is oversaturated too. So I need to be able to capture people and be able to pull them in.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I think I'm going to struggle with the most is community-driven success stories, because the success story isn't just when they get married or when they get engaged. The success story is, I went on 5 dates, you know what I mean, last month, or, you know what I mean? Like the little bits, you know what I mean? The small steps toward the goal, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
I need to clarify what those steps look like. And so that's what I need to put in place and, you know, get that mindset. This is what I want your journey to look like. Let's celebrate the small wins. So that's what I'm going to struggle with the most.
Well, I also feel like because what you do is so intimate, you have the opportunity to dip into trends and celebrities, right? Like none of us really knew until Meghan and Harry came out with Meghan and Harry, how they kind of got together or whatever. So when you have things like that are out there, you can pull from them to say, see, this is why I say you need to do so-and-so. And this is where they did the so-and-so. You can even use great movies or series like Emily in Paris. That girl needs you. I don't know what she got going on in her life. Why is you dating all these unavailable men? You know, what is you doing? Right. So you can use like trends and celebrities and our favorite movies and our favorite series to drive your points home as success stories or not case studies. So you don't just have to use, Emily kind of crazy. But yeah, so you don't just have to use the people because number one, because it's so intimate, you're going to have fewer people to pull from and fewer people are going to want to be pulled, but you don't have to stay with just that. So just keep that in mind.
I've been doing that. On Sunday, I did a live and I was talking about being selfish. You know what I mean? These women are talking about having high standards, but really what you are is selfish. And then I pulled Shelby from the best man. And I said, she was selfish. She was bossy and she was selfish. And then you come along and you're bossy and selfish and you say, well, I just have high standards. No, you're like Shelby. You know what I mean? And so I talked about that. So I've been doing that as well. But I can do
but
more.
You can just do it with intention, right? Like you can know that every 2 weeks I'm going to do one, and then this is where I'm going to pull it from. You see what I'm saying? So cool. All right. Over on the YouTube side, Keith says success stories is where he's going to do more with. That would be game changing. Chantilly has joined us, and what she said is, I'm noticing I need more support around structuring programs and events. I tend to think way out of the box, so I need that structure. And then she said, I'm really good with analytics, KPIs, and data. All right. Cool beans. This was a great one. This was good. This whole week is good, actually. So you guys will get the show notes to have all of this in it. Announcements. If you want the morning show in your inbox, you need to go to shaycannon.com/show. You will get a reminder to join us on the YouTube live. You will get an email in the afternoon with 2 links. One will be the replay of the show, and the other one will be a link to the show notes. So you know you need these show notes because it goes way beyond the blog. Tonight is the Clarity Clinic. We've been talking about it. Go to shaycannon.com/bizclarity, BIZCLARITY. It is free, but you will want to get that success kit. Let me tell you, because I'm putting some tools in there. It's going to make your clarity easier. All right. Tomorrow night is fuck up night. And we're going to invite the free group. So if you're in the group, shaycannon.info/group, get in the group, and then you can come to our fuck up night, which is you're going to bring your drinks and your business obstacles. This is a session where you get to bring me whatever is going on in your business, and we're going to talk about it. What's fucking up so we can fix it. All right. So that's that. Now, Debbie has figured out her question. Debbie, come out the mic.
Okay. So I always forget. I'm a regular contributor to a podcast, Your Business in Digital, and it's premiering. Season 5 is premiering on September 23rd. So we're going to be creating commercials. Each of the co-hosts are going to be creating commercials for their business to run during the show. So that is a way for me to reach out to a new community of business owners and entrepreneurs and invite them and tell them about what I do.
I love it. Now you have to decide, where is your community going to be? Because where are you inviting them to?
So I'm inviting them to watch the show. My commercial will lead them to my business to visit.
No. So if you're saying you're going to use this opportunity to build community, you
Right.
have a community. So where is your community going to be? Where are people going to gather? It's
Okay.
not your show. Your show is the show. It's not the community. Does that make sense?
Okay. So I have to find okay.
No,
Yeah.
you just have to figure out
Mhm.
where are most of the people that you want to attract, and is there a place there for me to create a group, right?
Mhm.
Because you want to create a group where people already are. When you start trying to create a group where it's an island, people are not really going to go over there on that island, but they will go to where they already go and just click an extra button and get to where you are, where they already go, right?
Okay.
So for me, that's why I have a Facebook group, right?
Okay.
For you, it might be a LinkedIn group, or it could be a Facebook group. You know what I'm saying? So you got to decide, where is your group going to live?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So come to the Clarity Clinic tonight if you have not already registered.
I will register.
Yes. ShayCannon.com/biz, B-I-Z, clarity. All right, guys, that we went over today, but it was really good. Tomorrow, what we're going to talk about is how to build community online versus your email list. Now, this is something I really had to sit down and think about myself. I haven't talked to my list in a while. I finally said something to them yesterday to invite them to the Clarity Clinic, but I have to figure out what I give y'all so much value. I don't know what different value I could give them as a two-way community and not a three-way community, right? So I had to really think, how am I going to differentiate the value I give them versus the value I give y'all? And so I had to come up with, like, what does that template look like? We're going to talk about that tomorrow, because I know most of you are like, my email list is my community, but they can't commune with each other. So they can't be your main community, right? So, but how do we nurture the main community where everybody can engage, and the email community? Because we need both, right? So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. All right, guys, the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.